Welcome, everyone, once again. In those moon-related meditations, I'm really happy to share these moments with you, as always. And today we are together to receive the annular solar eclipse and new moon in Libra. I'll get into the details in a second about what an annular solar eclipse is. Just know it is happening at 10 degrees of Libra. And it's happening at 7:49 p.m. Casablanca time, which is in 10 minutes, 11 minutes exactly, 6:49 Universal Time. So we'll be together while the eclipse happens. Unfortunately, it's not visible from here, from Europe. It's visible from the other side of the world, South America and the Pacific. Before I continue, for those of you who bought a candle, this is the right time to light it up. For those who haven't, you can connect with mine. So I will light it up now. And you're going to understand a little bit later why we're using a candle today. So see what 10 degrees, where 10 degrees of Libra falls in your chart. Look at the house where it falls, and it will tell you which area of your life is more impacted. But it's a very big event, so it's likely to have an impact in wherever it falls, like, and perhaps even beyond where it falls. So just a quick reminder, a solar eclipse is when the light of the sun is hidden from us by the moon. So the earth and sun and the moon goes in between and hides the sun, the light of the sun. An annular eclipse is when there is a ring of light. So the moon is slightly smaller than the sun from our perspective. So there is a little ring of light that remains around the moon when it hides the sun. So they call it also the ring of fire. Solar eclipses bring important changes, sudden changes, and permanent changes. So if you see things going upside down in your life, or some, sudden events or sudden change of situation, or sudden, especially in relationships, not just romantic, in romantic relationships in particular, but all types of relationships. This is totally a signature of this solar eclipse. The particular attribute or quality of an annular eclipse is that we still have some of the sunlight while we are faced with our inner self, our emotions, the depth of the depth within, or the darkness. We still have some light around. So it's talking to us about balance, but about resetting the balance. We'll see a little bit later on how we change perspective to reset a balance. It's a time to go deep within and to set new harmony from a new perspective, shedding new lights on situations, on conflicts, on things that are happening in our life. It's also a light that shows all possibilities and the potentials of situations or things that we have to deal with. So we have both light and shadow that are visible at the same time, which is not usual for a solar eclipse, unless it's partial. So for me, I really take it as a symbol of alchemical work. You know, that ring of fire. It's for me a light that holds space for us. We're surrounded by light, the light of consciousness, while we work on our deeper conflicts, on our darkness, and on the things we need to work on. I see this as really an alchemical symbol the annular solar eclipse, because we still have the light of the sun to guide us into that space, and just the geometry of it, just a circle that holds space for us, I think is beautiful. So as I said, this is happening in Libra. So let's see what are the attributes of Libra and what we can learn from Libra with this eclipse. Libra is the emotional aspect of the Trinity of Air. Its mantra is I balance, and it's the two other members of the Trinity are Gemini with I think and Aquarius with I know. So the attributes of Libra are, in its positive expression, are the search for harmony, a great sense of beauty, a great sense of justice, and it's really like the scales, that we can see here. In its negative expression, it can be illusion or lies when it can't discern between what it sees outside and what it feels within, and that creates like a dissonance, doubt. And to ease the discomfort, Libra would have a tendency to, let's say, mask it with a form of illusion to still have the sense of harmony where Libra feels very at ease, but it's fake harmony, if you see what I mean. It's just an illusion of harmony because behind the conflict is still there. Another negative expression is people pleasing. So again, to preserve harmony, to avoid conflict. And that can lead also sometimes to conformism. So again, to just keep things calm and steady. In its greatest expression, Libra is able to see the world as it is and to recognize beauty in everything and in everyone. This is how Libra balances out things when it's functioning at its full potential, in its full capacity. So Libra feeds off the beauty of the world and thus can create beauty from within. That's why its mantra is I balance, because I can see the beauty everywhere, then I can create beauty based on that. I hope you understand what I mean. So it's a sign that obviously deals with polarity, again, the two scales, but it has the power to create harmony by finding a third path, a third way to see, a third perspective, Its opposite, Aries, is really much about black or white, is the warrior. And Libra does not take part in that polarity when it's expressed positively, once again. It doesn't judge the parties or the polarities. It just finds a third way. It's really the artist of the zodiac. Okay, caveat. If you're not Libra, it doesn't mean you're not an artist, not at all. But in the archetype, it's the one that can create harmony and beauty in the same way an artist does in the world. So another interesting thing that is happening, and it really relates to the archetype of Libra. So the moon is at a particular degree. Each degree of the zodiac has a particular meaning, let's say, in relation to the moon. And the degree, the 10th degree of Libra, has the meaning of, and this is called the Sabian symbols, which are, let's say, sentences that were channeled by a man that I forgot the name of. I'll tell you next time. And they let's say they give a meaning to the presence of the moon in that degree. So for today, the symbol is, and I'll quote, a professor peering over his glasses at his students. So it's very interesting as an image to see that this is talking about the ability to change perspective, to get out of points of view, learnings, beliefs, things that we are used to see the world with, almost like a certain pair of glasses, like the Sabian symbol says, and to find a fresh perspective with the naked eye, which refers to truth. And we know Libra is related to truth because it's related to justice. So there's really that idea of looking at things differently, or maybe even it's very subtle here. There's a part that sees other people differently when we engage in the archetype of Libra, but there's also instead of judging the polarities at stake in a certain situation, it's judging the way we look at things. I hope you understand. It's subtle, but it makes a huge difference. And we'll get into that a little bit later anyway, so it will unfold a little bit more. One last thing before we look at the chart is that we are here on the nodal axis, which is by design where eclipses happen. So both the archetypes of Aries and Libra are activated today. So we will be talking about conflict. And the first big thing that this moon or this eclipse is talking to us about is it is time to look at our inner conflict and change perspective on that. We have on one side the sun and moon together, because that's how a new moon and a solar eclipse happens, together conjunct Mercury, and they are squaring Mars and Sirius on the one hand, and opposing the master star Algenib. And we're going to get into the meanings of all these stars and planets. So Algenib is in Aries on the opposite side of the zodiac. It's at 9 degrees of the constellation of Pegasus. And this star is talking to us about elevating ourselves above our own conflicts without escaping them, so that we can connect with our own higher guidance. So this really speaks about non-identification, among other things, which means when I elevate myself above the conflicts, I'm not escaping them. I'm not running away from them. I just distancing myself from them so that I can act, analyze, change perspective, etc. So it's not a, let's say, escaping our responsibility, but it's taking it from a higher perspective. And that's what Al-Janib is helping us to do. In China, this star is called the Black Warrior. It's the god of transmutation. And that's how we can transmute conflicts. It's by rising above and looking at them from a different perspective. Because at the end of the day, it's our perspective that makes up our reality. That's the bottom line. So it is really key that we learn and that we manage to do that, especially when dealing with conflict. So as the Black Warrior, it's the renewal of inner forces, and it's an energy of transformation. So what that says is this is the time to go through our own conflicts. It can be inner conflicts within, it can be conflicts we had with other people, but I'm talking about the work that we need to do as an individual, and to transmute them so that we can find the harmony of Libra through that transmutation and the balance of the I am, where Al-Janib is sitting at the moment. Yeah? Does it make sense? I hope it does. Um, so that's a very, very important, let's say, work that we have to do, and we do have how to do it. So we're kind of fine. Mars, which is the ruler of Aries, is giving us the will and the strength to face those conflicts. Because yeah, sometimes it's painful, it's scary, it's um, big enough to make us question our foundations. So maybe we don't feel we have the strength or the power, or that we are going to collapse, but we have help to do that. So it's really time to open our hearts and the space to do that. Remember what I said earlier about the alchemical symbolism of this solar eclipse. We have this space, and we are in a safe space to do that, right? The other thing in this kind of configuration and connection between stars, Mars is also conjunct the master star Sirius. So Sirius is considered to be the sun of our sun. And it's almost like the higher octave of the sun. And as such, it illuminates our subtle bodies and brings a higher and more subtle vibrational light to us in this in this um, in this. So you can use it as the light of a higher consciousness, or the light of our guides that is helping us with the work that we need to do to rise above the let's say the swamp of our emotions that sometimes keep us too close and keep us trapped really in a conflict. And that helps us rise above it and find the middle path, find the harmony, find the beauty in each party, in each part of that conflict. And Mercury being conjunct the sun and moon just amplifies the Libran energy of that eclipse. It makes also our mind very active, very sharp in the context of transmuting, in the context of finding a third way, in the context of finding where is the path of harmony, and in the context of ending the wars within, because this is what it's about also. Finding harmony between polarities is ending the wars of polarity, right? And as I said earlier, however painful that can be, we do have a lot of support, and to allow us not only to face the pain that conflict brings, the suffering that conflict brings to us, but also to find a third way that brings harmony to the whole. So this is the time, and this is the second theme, big theme. This is the time to go deep and use our emotions for what they're made of, which is to make us move. Emotion is the energy that moves us, makes us, yeah, makes us move. Not moves us from, well, moves us from an emotional point of view, but also makes us just progress on our path. And what tells us that is a grand trine in water signs with, again, Mars and Sirius in Cancer that are trine Venus in Scorpio and Saturn in Pisces. And we're going to look at each part of this big triangle in the sky and what it says to us. Let's look at Venus first, because Venus rules Libra. Venus is in Scorpio, water sign, a water sign that is taking us to the depth of our emotions. Remember, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, is the renewer, is the master of the underworld, death and rebirth. So this is the energy that we're dealing with here. So Venus there in Scorpio is taking us to the depth of our emotions, to the deepest parts of it, so that we can transform them. Again, that idea of transmutation. So I wouldn't be surprised, and I would even expect some deep diving into your own self. And I invite you to, let yourself go there. I invite you to use that slide, to the depth of yourself and to go see what's there. Talking about the underworld, Pluto is the master of the underworld, and as such, he also the master of all the wealth, all the precious stones, or the precious crystals that are underground. So the deeper you go, and the deeper you allow yourself to go, the more treasures you're likely to find, because that's really the way that archetype works. So that's what's happening with Venus in Scorpio. We also have Saturn in Pisces, and Saturn is the structures, and Saturn being in the water sign, Pisces especially, speaks about dissolution of structures. So allow yourself to let go of the old structures that make you perceive reality, situations, your existence, your surroundings in a certain way. This is what it's helping us to do. To let that dissolve, let that disappear, so that you could create something new from your fresh eyes, from your fresh perspective, from the transmutation work that you would have done. And Mars in Cancer, again, Mars, remember, it was involved in the big square that we spoke about earlier, and now it's involved as well in this trine, is the one that speaks to us about emotional security. It's a place where we feel secure emotionally. And remember, Mars is together with Sirius. So we have that support to feel protected, to feel in a safe space. Again, that ring of light that is around us. So this trine that I just talked about, see it as a wheel where Mars helps you dig deep into your emotions, to have the strength, the will, the courage to dig deep. And with Venus in Scorpio, go there to resolve your inner conflict and let the old dissolve so that you can bring new patterns, etc., etc. So see it as a beneficial wheel that allows you to go deep and rise up again, go deep and rise up again. And you can go through that cycle for as many times as you want. You can just take a paper or whatever, make a list of all the conflicts that you want to resolve and just do that cycle once and again, once and again. Another master star is connecting to the eclipse, and it's a very, very powerful master star. It's a fixed star, and as perhaps you know by now, fixed star bring very powerful energy, very focused, very laser-like, and very subtle as well. So Sirius was bringing that. It's the fixed star already, and Aldebaran is also bringing that type of energy into the eclipse. Aldebaran is also called the Eye of God. It's the star of the east, where the sun rises. So it really symbolizes the inner work, the pure thoughts, but also the rising of something new, the creation of something new. It's also associated with the middle path. So again, it's connecting with the archetype of Libra, where we need to find a place of harmony, where we get away from the extremes of the polarities to get back into harmony. And harmony can mean something different for each of us. So it's very important that whatever you're looking at, whatever conflict you're looking at, inner, which can be reflected outwardly, obviously, you got the manual. The harmony is not in anything external because Libra is the creator of that harmony. So you will find how to reconcile the opposites within. And we have tons of super powerful, super beautiful help to do that. So in summary, I want to say that this is the time to hold space for yourself while you go through deep transformation to find balance. That's really the symbolism of that candle that we lit up at the beginning. The balance is acknowledging everything that it is for what it is. So it's not judging who's good or who's bad and you know, like, resolving a conflict by separating, by engaging in that polarity. It's not judging and judging with the heart. There's an example that I can give you, which is the tarot card that is called Justice. And in many kind of images, current images, like we see Justice with her eyes kind of how do you say that, like closed. I mean, she can't see. But in the tarot, the figure of Justice has her eyes wide open and it's staring right at you. So it's because it's recognizing the beauty in you. And that's what we are called to do. Also, for those who know tarot a little bit, you can see that that figure is kind of touching one of the scales with her knees. So it's judging, but with the heart. So it's like it's taking another perspective on what it sees. And it's not the blind injustice that we see, that we are used to see. So during those days, I see this eclipse as an invitation to use our inner light to light up our path. And there's lots of it with Sirius, with Aldebaran, with Algenib, the three fixed stars. To use that light to as inner guidance. It can be your higher self. You can call it your guides. You can call it whatever you want. And truly, it's the light that is within you, that has always been, that will always be, and is just waiting for us to see it, nothing more. The flame has also the symbolism of transmutation, to burn the old, transmute it, and make it a fertilizer for what we want to create next. That's the black warrior that we saw earlier. So I would say the way to work with this new moon eclipse is to really look for where you feel you have conflict and revise how you look at the parties involved. Not, trying to understand who's right, who's wrong. It's not where it happens. It's where, how can I see differently so that both sides, both polarities find their reason to be and allow me to create something harmonious out of it. That's why the Libra is an artist. Is in that sense. That flame has also the sense of warmth and compassion. It's almost like finding safety, emotional security in our own arms, in our own being, in our own warmth that we can create for ourselves within that ring of fire. So that's really what I can say about this eclipse. I hope you find it helpful. Let's look at the Oracle of Agartha and see what message the people of Inner Earth have for us today. Okay. Okay. That was quick. Oh, incredible. Oh no, it's incredible. Look. So we have a message from the Ancient Aztecs, and the name of this, the name of this card is the Inner Door. Let's see what that means. So as usual, I'll be...
It's an eclipse, huh?
Right, isn't it? I love this oracle. Okay, 19th. Oh, wow. Incredible. Okay. The inner door. The emergence of the inner sun is the birth of a realized being. The initiate becomes aware that in the building of their own self resides a star that opens all the doors of the cosmos. This door must not be searched for outside of yourself, because the path of temptation will not cease to give you the illusion of that door. For all your questions, we would like to remind you of the importance of this inner door through which you need to get used to go through before you seek outside of you the information that you are asking for. How do you get to that door? You don't have to act to find yourself in that space. Only let yourself slide, letting go of your resistances in the moment, and settle in gratitude to find this celestial bath. Is the return of the non-expectation, return to the self, to the original state of plenitude or completion. The essential key is, do not look outside for your inner sun, so that you don't go away from its light and its illumination. Such a beautiful message, and so connected, right? Here's once again. This is clearly what a lunar eclipse would look like. Incredible. Yes, this is the ring of fire. Absolutely. So, how about we move on to the meditation? Make yourself comfortable, and I'm gonna start sharing the music. All right. Find a good position, ideally with your spine elongated, vertical. Close your eyes. Let's take a moment to focus on our breath. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold your breath. And exhale through the mouth. One more time. Take a deep breath in. Maybe find a little bit more space to bring in some more air. Hold your breath. And exhale through the mouth, extending your breath for as long as you can. One last time, take a deep breath in. Hold. And with the exhale, release any tensions, any thoughts, any excess of energy. When you finish exhaling, come back to normal breathing. Now let's take a breath in, and with every inhale, I see, imagine, or feel a lotus flower opening on the top of my head in my crown. At the exhale, the flower closes up, and my attention goes down along my spine to my roots, where with each exhale, I grow roots into earth. Inhale once again. I go up, flower opens. Exhale, I go down, roots grow a little bit further, a little bit deeper. Once again, inhale, lotus flower opens up. Exhale, lotus closes, roots grow. And I continue for a few more cycles. Very focused. I place my entire attention on the flow that goes from my crown to my root. And the connection with the sky above through the lotus flower and to the earth below through my roots. I go for one more cycle. Inhale, open the crown through a lotus flower. Exhale, go down along the spine, down to the root, down to the roots that I grow within earth. And I release my breath and place my attention on the heart. I'll stay there for a few seconds. I release my breath. And this time, I see the flame of my candle in front of me, in front of my third eye. With the inhale, I bring that light through my third eye into my heart. I hold my breath for a second. And with the exhale, I send its light all over my body. Inhale, bringing the light of that candle, its warmth, its gold color. Hold in your heart for an instant. Exhale, and send that light all around your body, to your organs, to your veins, and your circulatory system, to your entire physical body, to the last cell, and continue for a few cycles. Breath after breath, I feel my entire body filling up with light, shimmering. And then I see that light starts bleeding outwards in my aura. And with each breath out, I expand the reach of the light that I gather from that candle. And with my heart, I send it even further out, further out, further out, expanding and creating a beautiful shimmering bubble around me. It's warm, illuminated, golden particles all around. I take in the light of the candle one last time, bring it to my heart, and expand. I release my breath. I take a moment and I think of a conflict, inner or that I have with other people. And I take the first one that comes to mind. I think of the sides, the polarities, the parties that are at stake in that conflict. I step back and observe attentively and analyze my own perspective on this conflict. And I ask myself, how am I judging each of the polarities at stake? From what other perspective can I see the situation or that conflict? Maybe I want to step in the shoes of each party. I open my heart to each point of view involved in that conflict. Disengaging from the suffering this conflict is bringing to me or to any party, and recognizing each polarity for what it is, seeing the beauty that each of the polarities hold within. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I allow my heart to receive each of the parties involved equally, compassionately. Now observe how do I feel now that I'm allowed myself to see with the heart. Was I able to recognize each polarity? What other perspective can I take to recognize them? In those polarities with the heart. I see what balance, what harmony I have managed to establish. And I notice how my changing of perspective recalibrates the emotion I feel towards that conflict, that situation, those polarities. And maybe I can already see a resolution, a middle path, a place of harmony beyond. And I see the fruit of that situation, of the reconciliation that I managed to do in my heart. Maybe it's a liberation within me. Maybe a sense of peace. Maybe I feel more energy that I no longer have to spend in the suffering that that situation was bringing to me. I place that new situation in my hands, on my lap, and I place my entire attention in my heart. And I see it opening, like opening the door of an entire new world. And I enter a space where I see beauty, harmony, kindness, love. I smell the most exquisite scents and hear the most delightful music. It's a place where everything is soft, delicious, and delightful. And I recognize that this is my heart, and all these adjectives are attributes of my own self, of my own being. And I realize that I can choose to bring that out around me, to my life and to the world, at every heartbeat, with every breath. I bring my hands to my heart. I take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I open my hands facing forward. And I become aware that I am the artist that sees beauty in all and brings beauty to the world. I recognize that by bringing harmony to polarity, I allow transmutation of conflict, thus allowing the flow of evolution. I am balance. I am harmony that sees beauty in all polarities. I am evolution. I am. And I activate with my voice. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I come back here and now. I massage my body. To come back in the present moment. I stretch, yawn if I need to. And when I'm ready, I can open my eyes. Thank you very much once again for being here today and for sharing this space with me and everyone else. I wish you a beautiful eclipse And I will see you in 2 weeks.